make sure we're good. And we're not live yet, though, right?
No.
Okay. So we're going to turn us down. I will.
Guys. You look like a bunch of fifth grade sissies after a cat fight. You got anger, that's good. You're gonna need some. You got aggression, that's even better. You're gonna need that too. But any little 2-year-old child can throw a fit. Football is about controlling that anger, harnessing that aggression into a team effort to achieve perfection. But when you put that uniform on, better come to work. We will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts. And then you will run a mile. Perfection. Let's go to work.
Good evening, everybody, and it is football time in Missouri once again. Welcome back to the Jungle Fisher Stadium here on the campus of Fort Zumwalt North High School. It is another year of Panther broadcasting about to get underway. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name's Tom Hartbeck, and this year I am alongside Gavin Anderson. He has made his way into the booth finally after a couple of years being on the camera. And our cameraman this year, Parker Kylan, he will be outside in the elements. Not too bad today. Right now we're seeing a degree of 90 on that field, but probably feels about 100 degrees. And Gavin, I'm going to usher you in on this one. Your first comment. Well, Zumwalt North, lots of new starters.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing a bunch of new starters, a few returners from the last season, but Fort Zumwalt North looks really new this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how the dynamic starts out this year compared to last year. Last year kind of started off a little rocky, but new faces, new team. It's going to be a new season. It's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, and they dropped their first three last year, and including the opener to Howell, 42-13. We saw Peyton Hoker kind of take over in that game in the fourth quarter. And while the Panthers did win the fourth quarter in that game, it wasn't much of a contest. But after the first three games last year, they righted the ship. They ended up winning the GAC Central once again for the 8th year in a row. And this year they should do that as well. But you're doing it with a lot of new faces. And if you are just joining us, my name is Tom Hartbeck alongside Gavin Anderson. This is the Vandalia Bus Lines pregame show. This is going to lead us into the keys to the game as we're going to get our starters here momentarily. But, Gavin, Athletic Republic keys to the game, number one for you. What do you think?
Well, for Fort Zumwalt North, they're going to have to win in the trenches. Their offensive line is going to have to buckle down and really step up here early. That's something that we've seen in the past where they've kind of struggled throughout the game, but they're going to have to keep on fighting in the trenches.
And then also, on both sides of the ball, we have two key players. One of them was thought to be a key player last year for North in Connor O'Neill. Ends up losing the starting job to Peyton Hoker at quarterback. But now the onus is on him. He's going to have to perform because you've got two inexperienced backups behind you in Troy Emge and Lucas Newcomb. Now, Lucas Newcomb, obviously we know the name Newcomb at quarterback here at Zumwalt North. But it's all Connor O'Neill's show this year. And then also on Howell North side, you have a Greek god of a running back in Taj Gurley. I mean, that kid can run. He is built. He can receive. He can do pretty much anything. And the boys in green take the field for the first time here in 2022. Panthers are clad in green tops, new white bottoms, and white helmets. We'll see a debut of a new uniform if you look closely. The shoulders kind of have the San Diego State Aztec look about them. And you'll see that periodically throughout the year this year, I'm sure. They'll probably rotate the grays, the old greens, and the all-whites as well. But the Panthers this year rolling out some new threads, and they're going to have a little bit of a new look. You're going to see a few more running backs, a couple more wide receivers, and the spread option offense, and you did video for this for 3 years. It is one headache of an offense.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. As you mentioned, there's just moving parts all over the place. So if Fort Zumwalt North can use that effectively, it's going to be very dangerous on offense for them because it's a bunch of moving parts, a bunch of trick plays that Joe Bacon has in his pocket when he needs it.
And as we get the coin toss set up here, captains for Zumwalt North just now getting them. P.J. Henderson, the defense will run through him. Connor O'Neill. And then you also have Andy Guthrie. And then on the far side, he's got his back turned to me right now, I believe. That is Braden Miller. He'll be one of the favorite targets, I'm sure, for Connor O'Neill. He's got some speed and also can run the ball. For Francis Howell, though, they make the drop this year down to Class 5. And it's by 46 kids, I heard a inside source tell me. They have a small senior class this year, and it put them just under the threshold of Class 6. So Howell this year, now an automatic favorite to make a big run in the Class 5 playoffs, and Zumwalt North will have to go through them in the playoffs if they want to win their district.
Yeah, and as we mentioned kind of before the game started, Howell has a bunch of big players on their team. Howell's been known to have big kids, and that's something that they're going to use to their advantage this year.
Starters on offense for the Panthers, as we are yet to get the decision on the coin toss. And we'll get that to you once we get the confirmation. Looks like Howell won the toss and then deferred. And the Panthers will receive. So Francis Howell wins the toss, defers to the second half. The Panthers take the ball, and the starters on offense. The offensive line, Austin Bauer, a junior, 6', 205 at tackle. Guard, Mike Lumley, a senior, 5'10", 230. Alex Goki, he's the field general for the line, a senior, 6'4", 240, also plays both ways. Tommy Helmbrock, a junior at 6'1", 225 pounds. J.P. Pullman, sophomore, 5'11", 200. The wide receiver core, Shane Osman is the wideout. Mark Futrell, slot number 1. Braden Miller, slot number 2. Maurice Hamilton, slot number 3. Then you have Connor O'Neill at quarterback, and the halfback starting is DJ Jones. Andy Guthrie and Shane Pruitt should see some significant time in the backfield as well when DJ goes out to play wideout. Starters on defense for you, well, you're going to see 3 players playing both ways and now make that 4. Alex Goki, Austin Bauer will be on the line. Braden Miller and DJ Jones are going to be part of the Panthers secondary. If either one of those 4 kids gets hurt, it's going to be tough to replace because they're both all leaders. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7 o'clock Central Time. We are getting set for kickoff. Howell is set to kick the ball towards Tom Ginniver Drive, and back deep to receive is Braden Miller, DJ Jones, and Kellen Watson. Howell in white. Zumwalt North in green with white pants and helmets. This concludes the Vandalia Bus Lines pregame show, and football season 2022 is underway. Caught by DJ Jones on the far side. He's got a lane through, stays on his feet, and then is wrecked before he gets to the 25.
And that's how this season starts for the Panthers. Great run back by DJ Jones. As you mentioned, he's going to be one that you're going to want to look forward to as the halfback.
So Connor O'Neill will get the signal from Coach Bacon and bring his troops to the line as the shadows start to engulf Fisher Stadium. Sun is not quite under the trees. Panthers come out with 4 wide receivers, the shotgun spread. O'Neill. They show blitz. It is a quarterback keeper. Connor gets 4. A nice tackle on the play by Howell's number 6, Jude James, a 6'3", 200-pound junior. Ball on the 29, 11:32 on the clock, 2nd down and 5. They give him an extra yard. Panthers still show the same. It's another keeper by O'Neill, and that time maybe 3, if that. And you're going to see this. This is an offense, Gavin, that likes to run with the quarterback. I mean, it just does. It's the way that the spread offense goes. So now DJ Jones in the backfield. Osman, the wideout, standing 30. Hamilton back. Bad snap. And recovered by Howell. But still loose. Who's got it? Howell thinks they do. And they're going to get the ball on the 4. Looks like Connor O'Neill just took his eyes off that one.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of miscommunication there between O'Neill and Goki. O'Neill was looking
I don't think
the other way.
I don't think the snap was bad. I'm not sure if Connor was ready for it at the time. But now Howell will come out with the hog mollies up front and Taj Gurley in the backfield. as they set up. Brady Holtman is the running back. He has it to the outside. Touchdown, Vikings. Runs off the outside, and that is a quick 6 points for Howell.
Miscommunication by the Panthers, that fumble, and then Howell, quick one-play score, and that is going to be tough to watch unless if the Panthers can really step up on offense.
Well, I mean, also it's humid out. Right now you're holding at about 84 degrees, feels like 92. You've got a little bit of humidity. You've been working out. You're trying to stay at least warm and sweaty out there. Might have been a product of sweat, but it just looked like Connor couldn't handle that snap. As the ball is down, it is up and through the uprights. So Howell up 7-0 here early off the miscue by O'Neill at quarterback. We'll take a quick break. Be right back on Panther Broadcasting, powered by PrepCast.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
He's looking everywhere else.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting, powered by PrepCast. My name's Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Gavin Anderson. Parker Kylan's outside as the cameraman. It is 7-0. Howell on top early here off a bad snap. Connor O'Neill could not handle it. Bounced off him, then rolled all the way down to the 5. And an easy run and score by Brady Holtman of Howell. The kick going this time to Braden Miller. Drops it, picks it back up down the sideline to the 20. We've got a little bit better field position to start on first offensive drive 2.0.
Yeah, once again, another great run back by the Panthers. As you mentioned, the kickoff was muffed, but still able to keep his eye on the ball and really just buckle down.
And that sun still fighting us, so if we mistake an 8 for a 6 or a 3 for an 8, please forgive us. As the Panthers come out with Carter Madare sitting at wide out on the near side of the field by the by the north sideline. And then you've got Maurice Hamilton up top. As we get the game clock set, it'll be 1st and 10 from the 34, 10-19 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Howell with the lead. This is probably the second biggest matchup in St. Louis right now. St. Mary's and SLU playing in their kickoff at SLU. Still waiting on the clock as they reset it to 10:26. And we're set. Connor O'Neill with 4 wideouts. Mark Petrell, the man in motion, to the far side. Going to be a keeper by O'Neill, and he's going nowhere. The quarterback keepers just are not going to work against Francis Howell. You knew that last year going in. This is like a carbon copy so far, Gavin.
Yeah, Howell's just got a big defensive line, and they stack their defensive line too because they know that Fort Zumwalt North is just going to run the ball.
Yeah, they're going to run to the outside, and up the middle is not Zumwalt North's bread and butter. This is a sweep this time to Braden Miller into the secondary and down past the 50.
And if you're Fort Zumwalt North, that's what you're going to want to do. Hand the ball off, get it to one of your faster players, and just switch it up on offense. You run the same 3 or 4 plays, the defense is going to figure it out.
Right. If you've never seen a spread offense before, if your son is a freshman and you're watching us tonight, sweep, quarterback keepers, counters, not a whole lot of passing. 3 wideouts this time. They stack the ball. This is going to be a pitch play. O'Neal out to DJ Jones. Has some room. Maybe gets 4.
And not a bad play there by Fort Zumwalt North either. Just tack on those few yards at a time.
And Coach Joe Bacon has a Val Catholic coaching tree background. And the spread offense down there running the option is bread and butter. But that is Class 2. And in Class 2, it's much more common. 4 wideouts, again, for Connor O'Neal as he is into enemy territory. 8:52 on the clock, 2nd down and 6 from the 46-yard line. Man in motion, going to be a keeper by O'Neal. He is going to be just short of the first. 3rd down and short.
And then almost identical play with that sweep play, but O'Neal holds it himself. So just that switch up right there, enough to throw Howell off guard.
Well, that's the counter that you see. What will basically happen is that guard will pull in, and the guard on the opposite side of which way they run hooks around the center and acts as a blocker. Still 4 wideouts. Hamilton to the top of your screen. Mark Vitrell, the man in motion. Chris Vitrell's brother. It is a keeper. 1st down, a little bit more. Dives for extra yardage. Ball came out. And looks like Howell is able to fall on that, but then North keeps the ball. 1st down Panthers, and the clock keeps ticking. And the chains keep it moving as they convert 3rd and 1 from the 41-yard line. Carter Madere, the wideout. Mark Vitrell, the slot man to the near side. Then up top, you have Maurice Hamilton playing tight end, basically. And then Braden Miller. Back to pass is O'Neal. Steps up, heaves it deep, down the sideline. It is incomplete. Looked like a lot of contact there, but I guess he had a chance to catch that ball. Intended receiver was Braden Miller. 2nd down and 10 from the 35, 7:37 on the clock. And we all know this. Last year, what got Peyton Hoker the starting job was his arm. Connor O'Neal, not so much. So we're going to have to adjust as things go here. O'Neal got the pitch play out to DJ Jones. And that's a loss of about 3.
Jude James over there to wrap him up in the backfield.
Third down and 12 from the 37, 7:15 on the clock. And as I looked at this North depth chart this year, I would probably say defense may be their strength. They have a rather big defensive line as opposed to years past. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end for Connor O'Neal. Vitrell in motion, pulls it back, throws it. It is intercepted by Jude James. No, excuse me, Brian Thomas. And that was just a forced pass there by Connor. Looked like he had a man for a second, and Thomas was just able to step in front.
Yeah, that was Maurice Hamilton, the intended receiver. And, yeah, Bryant just sweeps right in there, read the play perfectly.
And this year, when you look at Zumwalt North's schedule, next week they have North Point. And as we get a official water break, we'll stay with you here and kind of give you some breakdown, everybody. They got North Point next week. You don't know what you're going to see in North Point, a brand new school, their first year playing football. Beautiful facility out there, by the way. But you're also going to, I believe you're going to be home. And when you have a tough game like Howell to start off, you really get a chance to shake off the rust in this game. That's why last year when they lost by 1 point to Timberland, we were so surprised.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Fort Zumwalt North went 0 for 3. But, yeah, you know, you're 3 weeks in. You'd imagine after playing a tough Howell team, one of the better teams in the district, you think you would shapen up. But it was one of those moments where they just had some miscommunication on offense and some plays that could have gone their way but didn't. and really it cost him really the first 3 games.
Yeah, and I mean, that's also Zumwalt North historically does not have a confidence in the kicking game, and it's just kind of the way the cookie crumbles. Howell back on offense. Up the middle. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. One play, Brady Holtman. Last year, Taj Gurley was in the backfield. This year, he's moved out to the wideout position. And Brady Holtman, 6'2", 215 senior. Man, oh man, can that boy run. And he runs downhill.
Great job by Howell's offensive line, though, to open up a hole. And as you mentioned, Holtman found a hole, and he was gone.
Well, that's the thing with Zumwalt North's defense, even though your line and your starters, by the way, Alex Goki, senior, 6'4", 240. Colin LaBelle, the nose tackle, senior, 6'5", 230. Austin Bauer, 6', 205. You have a decent size defensive line as the kick is up and good. We'll stay here. But your backfield, outside linebacker Shane Pruitt, 6', 195. Middle linebacker Jake Sweenton, 6', 195. Middle linebacker Andy Guthrie, senior, 5'9", 190. Outside linebacker PJ Henderson, 6', 215. But PJ is playing basically as your blitzing lineman. PJ and Shane are going to pinch down to that line and try and get a sack. That's where we saw Parker Monning make his money back in 2019-20. But you don't have the size on defense to stop a up-the-gut run, down-your-throat, smash-mouth team like Howell is. And Howell, coming from Class 6, I hate to use the analogy, but Howell is, smash mouth, up the middle, big line. Class 6, in essence, in Missouri, is the SEC. Class 5, Big 10. Class 4, you start to see like Mountain West. There is no Big 12 happy medium. 14-0, Howell. And it looks like they have reloaded. Here's the kick. It is deep. And was Mark Petrell trying to catch it, but it goes out into the end zone for a touchback. So your first thoughts here, Gavin. It's a little bit of what we saw last year.
Yeah, very similar to what we saw last year. Offense starting off a little rough, and then the offense for Howell just right down their throats. 2 plays, 2 scores.
Yeah, and when you can run like Howell can, I mean, you don't have to throw the ball in this situation. Right now, you may as well throw a nickel defense out there with a 5-man line, but then they're going to torch you over the middle. 6:36 on the clock, 14-0. Howell with the lead. First down and 10 from the 20 for the Panthers. If you're just joining us, my name's Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Gavin Anderson, and Parker Kylan is our cameraman outside today. As Connor O'Neill brings his troops to the line, Carter Madare is at the bottom of your screen. Hamilton to the top. Then you have Braden Miller, the slot man, and Mark Futrell. DJ Jones in the backfield. Miller, the man in motion. Keeper stumbles forward. And maybe give him a gain of 6. And Connor is very comfortable taking a hit. We saw him play defense primarily last year, and man, oh man, was he very, very adjusted to that safety position. So he likes to hit people and can take one, but sometimes you can't just keep the ball as a quarterback.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of a quarterback that isn't afraid to get hit. Sometimes that ball will just pop right out.
Mark Futrell, the man in motion. Pitch play out to him. Takes a nice hit, maybe gets 1 on the play. Third down and 2 from the 43. 5:35 to go, 14-0. You're going to want to get a score on this drive if you want to stay in this game so far. You get to 21, you're at 35 rather quickly before that running clock happens. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end shown for the Panthers. As they come set, O'Neal uses DJ Jones as a blocker. O'Neal trying to find a way around the outside. A flag in the area of holding. And he does get 2, maybe back to the first down line, but it is holding on the offense.
It's one thing you got to be careful of with being on offense in that long sweeping run is your offensive linemen are going to tend to hold them a little bit longer. Well, you're just going to want to shoot straight up the middle because if you wait too much longer, then, yeah, you're going to get that holding call.
Well, here's the thing. The last time we saw a running quarterback for Zumwalt North, a true running quarterback, Cairo Payne, that kid could run. And he also had a little bit of a decent arm and could get up the middle. He also had a very, very big offensive line behind him. We haven't seen the Panthers have a large offensive line since. 5:07. Left on the clock here in the first. 3rd down and 11 from the 34. O'Neal back to pass, rolling far side. And the pass was dropped by Hamilton.
Good throw by Connor O'Neal, but just a bit low. Hamilton unable to get underneath that one. But Hamilton would have had a first down, though, if he was able to get his hands on it.
And as I look at the Panthers sideline, Coach Bacon is kind of back a little bit, having a conversation with a couple of coaches, maybe trying to draw something up here, knowing something's not going to work. 3rd down, make that 4th. The scoreboard is not right. They will rugby punt it. It is blocked. Hits Braden Miller in the back. Scoop. Miller, can he stop a touchdown? No, he cannot. Touchdown, Vikings. Brian Thomas with a touchdown. Block punt return for a touchdown. And it's 20-0. Well, now you just got to start to say, this is the gut check game. You know, this is exactly what we saw last year. 20-0. And the Panthers really can't move the ball as of right now with Connor O'Neal at quarterback. But it's not to say that he can't play the position.
It's a learning experience is what it is.
It's a huge learning experience. And, I mean, in this offense, yeah, you have to be able to throw the ball as a quarterback in general as the kick is up and good. But you have, and I have the depth chart in front of me, DJ Jones, Shane Pruitt, Andy Guthrie, Deion Thompson, Duante Kerr, Aaron Schroeder, all listed as running backs. Also, you have wide receivers in Kellen Watson. You have Carter Madare who can run. You have Antoine Friend, a newcomer. The quarterback just has to be the athlete on the field in the option offense. But as we see, it's just not holding well for the Panthers right now. But you almost have to view this game as a practice game. Wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, like we mentioned, Howell is one of the bigger schools as far as size goes. And it's really just, as you mentioned, a gut check, figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work and adapt from that.
Yeah, and now again, this year you're going to have to go through Howell again to win your district. And districts are done by geography. It's amazingly Zumwalt North, Zumwalt West, Zumwalt South, Zumwalt East, Howell North, Howell Central, Howell, and Riverview Gardens. Class 5, District 3. Kick is deep and into the end zone for a touchback. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Panthers down 21-0 here early.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific, one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes...
Welcome back, everybody. Panthers take over 1st and 10 from the 20. 4:51 to go here in the first. Connor O'Neill has 4 wide receivers. Braden Miller, the man in motion, trips to the near side. Miller on the little screen pass, gets through down to the 30, a first down, and that moves the chains.
The first completion of the season for Connor O'Neill. And it was a great pass, too. Little wide receiver
pass.
screen. Yeah.
Yeah. The wide receiver screen, it works in this offense, but it's going to get snuffed out eventually. A couple of years ago, you might have seen this, that when Jack Newcomb was the quarterback, he had a penchant for scrambling to the far side and throwing across the field. Worked a couple of times. Here is O'Neill with the scramble around the outside. First down and more. That'll move the chains.
O'Neill with a great run. Now the Panthers are starting to pick it up here on offense. Couple nice plays here back and forth. And as we mentioned, O'Neill can run the ball.
Yes,
he's just got to find a hole.
He's got to find a hole. He's got to have blockers. And man, oh man, you know he's got the guts to play quarterback in this offense. The problem is he's got to run every play perfectly. If he gets snuffed in the backfield, you got your work cut out for you. Panthers trying to get across the 50 for the second time. High snap. It is a sweep play to Braden Miller, and he gets across the 50 and into enemy territory.
And now we've started to notice that the Panthers have started to switch it up here on offense. You're seeing a new play every single snap. Unlike the last couple of possessions, they were predictable.
Yeah, they were. And also, the spread option offense lends itself to slow developing plays. And when you don't have a offensive line that is, just hog mollies, sometimes that can be tricky. And now, as you're seeing, Panthers are working it around the outside. With 4 wide receivers, across the 50 they go. Fattrell, the man in motion. Bringing it down is O'Neill. Scampers for maybe 3.
And the Vikings did a really good job at closing the gap quickly. O'Neill saw a gap right there, and then the Vikings just closed in on him.
Mm-hmm. And Jack Newcomb was a similar quarterback to Connor O'Neill, but Jack could throw the ball a little bit, and we haven't seen Connor throw very much this year yet. But again, you had a bigger offensive line. 4 wideouts. Fattrell, the man in motion. Again, pulling it down is O'Neill, and he is snuffed out. Maybe got back to the line. 4th down and 2, I'll give him, from the 46-yard line. 2:30 left here in the first quarter. You need a score on this drive, I would say.
100%.
Unless you can stop Howell on the next and keep it at 21-0. If they get to 28 before the second quarter, you're going to have your work cut out for you. 21-7 is a lot more manageable. 2 yards to a first down. DJ Jones, the man in motion. O'Neill, first down and more. That time, DJ goes out to play wide receiver, and look who they put in the backfield, Andy Guthrie.
And another conversion by the Panthers.
And last year, they had a tendency to do this. They would put Pruitt or O'Neill in the backfield, and O'Neill would be the blocker. First and 10 from the 39, 1:40 to go. Panthers on a little bit of a march here. DJ Jones, the man in motion. Keeper, this is Guthrie now, as he gets the last second handoff and falls forward just short of the first down. And now you're starting to see a little bit of that Lamar offense, where they pull in the wide receiver close. He's basically a tight end, and you're starting to see a little bit of flex bone. Do you know what I just said?
Yes, yes.
It's all right. I
Yes.
got to throw some shade toward you, Gavin. 1 minute to go here in the first. Second down and 4 from the 33. Spread offense. Keeper. First down. A little bit of a push. And Connor O'Neill looks like he moved the chains.
And they are going to give it to him.
And there's where Connor O'Neill's running can come in handy. He normally does not take a sack. He is at least good at keeping his feet moving and getting back to the line, and you're not going to lose a whole lot of yardage. But you got to get at least 3 yards of play. Clock under a minute here. Panthers just past the 30. Braden Miller, the man in motion to the near side. It's O'Neal with some blockers, rumbles forward. Nice gain of maybe 7 on the play.
And once again, Connor O'Neill taking himself. And as you mentioned, he's not afraid to take a hit, which is helpful for the Panthers, especially with the Panthers offense. They are much of a running team, especially a running team with the quarterback.
And looks like that will be the last play of the first quarter. Not really how the Panthers wanted it to play out, 21-0, but they are starting to move the ball a little bit. We'll take a quick break and be right back with quarter number 2. Panthers down big here before halftime.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Looking to get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back, everybody, to Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. My name's Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Gavin Anderson. It is 21-0 Howell, but Zumwalt North just a few yards short of the red zone here. Ball on the 24-yard line, second down and 5 as we open up quarter number 2. Connor O'Neill will have Andy Guthrie in the backfield. DJ Jones is the far side wide receiver. He's the man in motion. It's a handoff to Guthrie, who is stopped. No gain on the play. Now, as I'm looking, DJ Jones is your outside wide receiver to the far side. And also Hamilton basically turning into a blocker. Or a blocking tight end. Hamilton is listed at 6'3", 180, trying to maybe use his height. As he moves to the near side of the line, Braden Miller now shades to the inside. Miller, the man in motion. This is Miller, and he is maybe 2 yards short. That's a version of the wing. They're running 2 wideouts to the far side of the field, and then they move that wide receiver in. It's basically a wide receiver sweep or a wide receiver counter every time. 4th down and 2 from the 21. 10:48 on the clock. Watch for Connor O'Neill to keep this one. DJ Jones, the man in motion to the near side. O'Neill looks like he may be just short. And Howell will take over. And in this offense, you have to just know, do I hand it off or do I pull it down? And we're not going to throw very much.
And it's one of those things where the Panthers are going to have to really read the defense here with those option plays that they have in their playbook.
10:33, 1st and 10 on the 21-yard line. Howell comes to the line with a 21-0 lead. And in the backfield, setting up as an offset tight end, big old number 88, Brett Northfleet, 6'7", 235. Handoff. Throws a ball into the secondary, running away from Braden Miller, stays on his feet, and is tackled at the 35. Jalen Pearson, 5'7", 165.
Another play where it looked like Howell was going to run away with it, but able to get wrapped up.
And Taj Gurley setting up as the near side wide out. Then you have the quarterback for Howell, Adam Shipley. Flag on the play. Jalen Pearson setting up as the running back for Howell. Now we get the call. Substitution infraction for Zumwalt North. 1st and 5 from the 29. 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Pearson hops through to the 20, to the 10, down to the 5, and pushed out of bounds by a diving Carter Madare.
Taj Gurley over there blocking for him. Great blocking by Taj Gurley. We mentioned Taj Gurley can kind of do it all.
Yeah, he can. He can be the running back. I've seen him play quarterback a couple of times, and I have also I've seen him train near my house. I mean, the man is chiseled. Shipley to Pearson, down to the 5, spinning away, and stopped by a host of Panthers. First one to touch was Maurice Hamilton. Second and goal from the 6.
And it just shows you how big this Howell team is when it takes 3 Panthers to bring down your running back.
Yeah, and when you have your tackle as a 6'7", 235 standout. To the outside, touchdown inside the pylon. A nice catch and a little scamper by Carson Topping. 27-0. It's not all bad, folks. I mean, you've got North Point next week, and again, I mean, what can you say? Howell right now is now the top dog in St. Charles, and for 7 years, it was Zumwalt North because Francis Howell was up in Class 6 and wouldn't benefit from this. Snap back, ball down, kick up, and this time it's also through the uprights. 28-0, 9:11 to go. We'll take a quick break, be right back on Panther Broadcasting, powered by PrepCast.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting, powered by PrepCast. If you're just joining us, my name's Tom Hartbeck alongside Gavin Anderson. 9:11 to go here in the first half. Not the way the Panthers wanted to start the season, but it's exactly how they started last year. But you don't have Peyton Hoker in your back pocket who can sling the ball down the field. You've got plenty of athletes on this team. It's just you can't use them in the proper fashion right now, and you're going to have to adjust. Once you get into GAC Central play, though, it should open back up as this ball is booted deep and out of the end zone for a touchback.
But yeah, no. As you mentioned, Howell, we mentioned it all game, very big on offense and defense. And with the Panthers coming in with basically a brand new team, they're still learning that aspect of what is our dynamic, how can we pull it together as a team.
Oh, sure. It took them 3 games last year to gel, and I mean, they returned 3 starters on offense and 5 on defense. So when you only return 8 starters, you don't even have a half a field of returners. It's all newcomers on this team. And Connor O'Neill, not a newcomer. He knows the quarterback position in this playbook. He just didn't make the start last year. Back to pass. O'Neill looking, has some room. Pass is complete to Hamilton. First down and then dragged down, maybe a gain of 14. And my eyes deceive me, gain of 19. And that's how Connor O'Neill will throw the ball. He'll be a rollout man.
And, you know, each quarterback is different. They have their own way of working. And for O'Neill, it's, as you mentioned, on the run.
First down and 10 from the 39. 8:45 to go. 28-0. Panthers trying to get on the board here. Howell shows blitz. Miller, the man in motion. He's got the ball to the outside. Has a hole. Dives for the first down. Maybe give him 9. Braden Miller, probably the best athlete on the field for Zumwalt North right now. DJ Jones, you could argue, is also in that position. Mark Futrell as well. Doesn't have the size that his brother did, but certainly does have the speed. Carter Madare to the bottom of your screen. To the top is Futrell as Maurice Hamilton pitches in to be a tight end. DJ Jones is the running back. He gets the handoff, and he is stuffed.
So that's going to bring it back to 3rd and 1. And really, this Panthers team is looking a little bit better here in the second half. As we mentioned, it's going to take them some time. Their whole new team.
Yeah, I mean, they're starting to kind of get the jelly bitten out a little bit. You can kind of see it. But now the Panthers show trips to the near side. Hamilton's the wideout, and the 2 slot men are, I believe, Madare and Futrell. Miller to the far side, and he did not get it.
Looks like they're going to give it to him, or maybe right at the line, at the first down marker.
And my vantage point, folks, we're basically standing at the 45-yard line on either side. That's the press box. And looks like they give it to him by a hair on the quarterback keeper. 6:50 on the clock. They will move the chains. A new set of downs for the Panthers on their own side of the 50. Back to pass. O'Neill throws it high. And making the catch, no! They rule him out of bounds. Made the catch but couldn't get his feet down. Nice effort by Maurice Hamilton.
And for a split second, I thought they were going to rule him in there.
I thought he was too, because I saw him make the catch and try and stomp his feet down. But wasn't enough zip on that ball. Second down and 10 from the 48, 6:30 on the clock. Panthers trying to get on the board here before halftime comes. Hamilton, the wideout, then Braden Miller. Futrell, the man in motion to the near side. Keeper by O'Neill, gets around off the edge, and maybe a gain of 3 or 4. Coming out is Andy Guthrie. Coming in for the Panthers on a substitution is Shane Pruitt. So again, you're going to see rotating running backs before we work out really what that position is in this offense. Last year it was a blocker because Peyton Hoker could run. And then they'd put DJ Jones in when they needed 5 yards. 3 wideouts, 1 tight end. Braden Miller, the man in motion. He gets the sweep. He is just short of the first down, and it'll bring up another 4th and short as the Panthers get into enemy territory.
But to bring up the point again about the multiple running backs, that actually could work towards North's advantage because they're going to have fresh legs. They have those running options, so later on in the game you can get those different looks, fresh looks, and each running back's going to have their own specialty, so you can use that to your advantage.
Well, a couple of years ago when the Panthers took down Brady Cook and Chaminade, Brady Cook now the starter at Mizzou, just like to say, and they ran a 2 running back offense for the first half. One was a blocker, the other was a actual runner. But then you had Chris Futrell, DJ Jones was a youngin' at the time. And Francis Howell going to take a timeout. We got some business to do. We'll take a quick timeout ourselves. 28-0, 5:07 to go. 4th down and 1 when we come back.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
And we're back. Welcome, everybody. 4th down and 1 for the Panthers. As Coach Bacon getting rather animated in that huddle. This is the 3-year rubber game. Last year, Howell won big, 42-13. The year before, well, that was a game to remember. Went down to the final play. An interception by Rob Rezix in the end zone to seal it for the Panthers. Won by less than a touchdown. Just coming out of the pandemic to win that game, it was nice. O'Neal hopping through, gets his first, shakes loose to the far side, still on his feet, flag. That might be in the area of a horse collar. And sometimes you'll see Connor run like that. Gain of 14 on the play. We do have a flag, but it was thrown downfield. Let's see here as the officials get together. All right, here's the white hat. Face mask, defense. And Coach Bacon and company will take that.
O'Neal taking his time in the backfield, found a hole, and that's one thing that O'Neal and these Panthers are going to have to do. Be patient in the backfield. You got to find that hole, and your offensive line is going to have to buckle down and create a hole, create some separation.
I agree. And, you know, back in 19 when the Panthers went to the Final Four, Cairo Payne was great at that. He would hold that ball, wait, and then take off running, or he would throw it. But, again, he had a stellar offensive line. That included former colorman Adam Lewis. Shout out to you, Adam, if you're listening from Columbia. Here is O'Neal around the outside, down to the 10, to the 5. No, he's short of the 5, pushed out at the 9. Panthers threatening here. Once you get that first score, you can rest. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 from the 9 is what we'll show. In the backfield right now is Shane Pruitt. He's the running back. As we set up, 2nd down and 5. Man in motion, Braden Miller. Back to pass, O'Neal looking to the end zone. Incomplete. broken up on the play by a diving with a spectacular play by my eye, Cameron Carson for Francis Howell. Was looking for Carter Madera on the play. That brings up third, and now they adjust it to 6 on the scoreboard.
And that was a better looking pass, too, by Connor O'Neill.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Tua Tagovailoa. He doesn't want to throw over 30 yards, but sometimes that works. 3 wideouts. Miller, the man in motion. O'Neill, miscommunication, and that time they paid for it. O'Neill was trying to hand it off, and nobody was there.
They went around on the other side. Yeah, once again, that miscommunication by the offense, which is going to take them a little bit of time.
Now, 4th down and 8 from the 11. In high school, you're in field goal range here. We'll see what Coach Bacon wants to do. This conjures up memories of the Zumwalt North had the ball in this position 3 times and failed to score or get the first down. If they would have kicked 3 times, they would have won the game and gone to the state final. O'Neill in the backfield, gets some space, pushed out of bounds. And again, you're going to come up empty. Loss of 1 on the play and a turnover on downs.
Coach Bacon loves to go for it on 4th down. He likes to pull out those trick plays.
Yeah, he does, and sometimes you'll see that scamper to the far side of the field, throw across his body, and sometimes it goes for a touchdown, like it did with Chris Fitrell in the Howell game a couple of years ago. But a lot of times he just doesn't have faith in it. I'll never forget Owen Sears hit a 40-yarder at halftime of that Carthage game. Pass down the field. They fight for it. Out there covering. Again, he's probably your best athlete on the field.
He does a great job at reading the ball on defense and able to get in just his hand in the face or on the ball.
Shipley to pass. Here comes the blitz. Somehow they get the pass off. It's Pearson. First down and more, and dragged down by Carter Madera. And my mistake, Taj Gurley with the reception. No relation to Todd Gurley. But Taj has been a staple of this Howell offense for a while. Howell this year probably has their best shot to finally get that state title. They are regulars in the quarterfinals. But we'll see how they do in Class 5. Shipley again, flush from the pocket. They throw underneath. Caught, and a first down. And that was caught by Brett Nordfleet. Nordfleet, if you didn't know, one of the best and highly recruited prospects in the area. 6'7", 235. He is being recruited basically as a tight end, even though he plays wide receiver sometimes. First down for Howell. They scamper forward with Pearson, maybe a gain of 5. But Brett Northfleet has a stable of colleges looking at him. Notre Dame, Alabama, Clemson. Just because of his size. Busted play here for Howell. Somehow they rumble forward. The ball came out. North says they have it. And they do.
So North gets the ball back on a fumble.
I believe that was recovered by number 1, Sean Robinson. Newcomer. So turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. The story of this second quarter.
Fort Zumwalt North just needs to find something going on offense. They've been able to drive down the field, but they just haven't been able to put the icing on the cake.
First and 10. Ball on the 27, 1:21 to go here. Can the Panthers get on the board before halftime? We'll see. O'Neal back to pass. Puts it long. Incomplete. But had a man downfield. Braden Miller was the intended receiver. Had a step. That ball was just a little overcooked. The eggs weren't over medium. They were over semi-hard.
But a great throw by O'Neal. Probably one of the better throws that we've seen tonight by O'Neal. But just put a little bit too much on that one.
Second down and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line, 1:15 to go. Trips to the near side for Connor O'Neal. Braden Miller, the man in motion. Handoff. That is Shane Pruitt. And he maybe gets one or two. And Shane's going to be that up-the-gut kind of a guy. Shane, normally your starting outside linebacker. Third down and 6 from the 31. Under a minute now left in the half. 4 wide receivers as we get set. O'Neal back to pass, has some time, looks, has more time, now tucks it and runs, has the first down. Ball comes out, who has it? Francis Howell on the recovery. Jalen Pearson, so far player of the game for me. Said his name a few times for Howell tonight.
And a great throw by O'Neal. O'Neal had some time to sit in the pocket, too.
Yeah. I personally, if I was him, I know he was trying to be very conservative on the play. But if you don't see anybody, with 30 seconds, heave it downfield and punt it, get it out of bounds. You know, it's better than what you have there. Yeah, you ran for the first, but you fumbled the ball. Shipley back to pass. He's rushed. They catch it underneath. Touchdown. Man, oh man. Topping with the reception. Shipley somehow able to get it out of his grasp, and it's 35-0, so that means we'll have running clock in the second half unless the Panthers can score. And barring the completed PAT here. That's just a bad break. The Panthers are getting the rush on defense. Shipley is just a good quarterback.
That's one thing the Howell's been able to do so well is pass the football.
Oh, yeah, they have been an all-around team for many, many years, and they favor the run as the kick is up and good off the foot of Josh Deal. But they like to run the ball, but they have had a stable of good quarterbacks. Siebenschuh, you know that name?
I do not.
If you're an Illinois fan, you might know that name. Todd Siebenschuh. He's a product of Howell. 21 seconds left here. So we'll see how the Panthers go into halftime, whether they will get this ball and take a knee or if they will run a play or two. Back deep is Maurice Hamilton, Braden Miller on the far side, DJ Jones. Lucas Newcomb standing on the 50. He's your third string quarterback. You'll see him standing on the 5 of the 50 right now. Couple of linemen up top. As Josh Deal gets set to kick. It is deep. And into the end zone. So 21 seconds on the clock. Normally, I would think Coach Bacon's going to take a knee and head to the locker room here and head to the drawing board.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to say that you don't want to risk fumbling the football and giving Howell even a shot.
Yeah, you want to have the chance to maybe stop the running clock and actually have a third quarter. But, I mean, last year we saw this. This was the same exact situation. They got to 42, and then Peyton Hoker threw 2 touchdown passes. They hit a PAT and then missed one. They'll run a play. Low snap. O'Neal. Whistle blows to blow the play dead. False start offense.
So it looks like Coach Bacon wants to at least run one more play here before halftime.
Scores from North Point, 7-0, Howell North. First down and 15 from the 20. It's a sweep play around the outside with some room. 30, running down to the 40 and dragged down. A nice scamper that time by Aaron Schroeder. I thought that was Lucas Newcomb. Schroeder out there at the wide receiver position, and that more than likely will end the half if they can get a play off here quickly. 3, 2, 1. They got it off. And a gain of 5 with the run up the middle. Well, we'll start your Vandalia Bus Lions halftime show here shortly, but there's not much really we can talk about. 35-0, Gavin. It's kind of apples and oranges right now.
Yeah, really, it's just the Panthers have made some key mistakes. We've mentioned over and over again, only 8 returners from the previous season. It's opening night here at home. Get those jitters out of the way. Come back at halftime. At least get one on the board. You get one, and I feel like that's going to be the momentum moving forward. You just got to get that one out of the way.
Yeah, and you have North Point next week. So, I mean, that score that I just read, Howell North, and you know this being a Howell North alum, it's one of the struggling programs in the state.
Yeah, Howell North just does not – they haven't had a team in a while.
Yeah, and I think the last time they even – were competitive might be 2014, if that. And we're going to have a 20-minute half here. We'll bring you the band performance. Stick a mic outside. The Zumwalt North Band, I will tell you this, one of the best in the city of St. Louis. They are small, but, man, can they put out some noise. And, I mean, I just have to say this, Gavin. If you're watching this and you're about to turn it off, do not do so. 35-0. Howell on top of Zumwalt North. Zumwalt North, historically, a second-half team. You draw up a play in there that Coach Bacon's got in the back of his mind, everything could change. Peyton Hoker, at this point, made his appearance last year. So we'll see if the Panthers have something in their back pocket. But that first half of play of the 2022 season has come and gone. 35-0 as we head to a quick break. And then we'll be back with a few updates in the halftime show for your halftime entertainment on Panther Broadcasting, powered by PrepCast.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific, one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic Training Center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Australia Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287. Australia Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the Pantherettes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, entering the field is your 2022 Panther Pride Band. The Panther Pride Band has 115 members and is under the direction of Mr. Rob Babel, Mr. Patrick Stewart, and Mr. Matt Schultz. Percussion instructors are Rick Breyer and Derek Peblaw. Guard instructors are Alyssa Thompson, John Taco, Shelby Murray, and Zoe Miller. Additional staff includes Ethan Monroe and Lane Burwell. Tonight the band will be performing From Both Sides, featuring Hands Across the Sea by John Philip Sousa, Pegasus by Hank Levy, Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell, and an 1812 overture by Tchaikovsky. The band is led tonight by drum majors Hannah Bradford, Riley Smith, and Morgan Wedekin. Soloist tonight will be Liliana Hurston on flugelhorn. Tomorrow, the Fort Zumwalt North Percussion Line will compete at the Timberland Percussion Festival at 4 p.m. And next month, the Panther Pride Band will kick off its competition season at Lafayette High School on September 24th And in October, it will perform at the Bands of America Super Regional at the Dome in downtown St. Louis, which features over 65 bands from across the Midwest. In June of 2023, the band will be traveling to Hawaii to perform at Pearl Harbor and in the King Kamahia Parade. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your 2022 Panther Pride Band.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back, everybody, for the second half on Panther Broadcasting, powered by PrepCast. My name's Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Gavin Anderson, and it is 35-0. Francis Howell. Zumwalt North has tried to put up a fight here, Gavin, but right now it's just a matter of you have a very big team, a very good team, and if they were in Class 6, you might not say they're a threat. You know, they're gonna get into the playoffs and make a run in Class 6. Class 5, Francis Howell, look out.
Exactly, and Francis Howell's one of those teams where you'll see a team in high school mainly run the football. You'll see either a running team or a passing team. Howell's perfected both, and we've seen it here tonight where they've been able to run the ball, and when the Panthers have figured out the run game, they go to the pass game. And it's just one of those back and forth things that Howell has always been able to do.
Yeah, and Howell is a very well-rounded team. And in Class 6, they might not be bothering anybody or making much waves. I mean, yeah, they'll get to the playoffs. They'll run through their district, maybe get to their district championship game. But normally they're going up against their district championship game. When they're in Class 6, they were in that district 3 that would have to cross to Jeff City and to Kansas City in Class 6. Now, you're in Class 5, you're playing St. Charles schools. St. Charles football, no disrespect to the GAC, it is not the MCC at all. And, I mean, you're going to run through your district. And now, I mean, you're just going to have to find a way to stop. Unless you get them on an off day, I think you're looking at a potential Class 5 District 3 championship game here because, and we know this from experience, there's no other competition that's close to Zumwalt North and to Howell in this district.
Yeah, and Howell is basically going to be the new Fort Zumwalt North. We've seen Fort Zumwalt North. We've covered them for the last couple of years. North, perfect season going into the playoffs. Maybe one loss here and there. It was Fort Zumwalt North did not have any tough competition.
Now they do. And it is Francis Howell as a bad pop-up kick comes off the foot of Noah Page. Taj Gurley with the reception, but he falls down and is marked down around the 32. So we'll see how the Panthers fare. So the rules here for running clock. Clock does not stop except for on first downs until the snap of the ball. Shipley, the handoff, up the middle. One man to beat. Hamilton makes the tackle. Man, oh man. Brady Holtman can run that ball. And in this district, I've got Howell pegged now for at least the quarterfinals, probably the semis.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Their size on offense and defense and the way that they can move the ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very nice as Brady Holtman scampers into the end zone. CBC whoops up on Macon, Georgia. Macon High School, 41-27. at the showcase in Canton, Ohio. That's just in. CBC tops Macon High, who were in the top 100. So were CBC. They go to the Canton and they roll. Snap back, ball down, up and good. 41-0. And you're getting, at this point, you don't want to get anyone hurt. We'll take a quick 30-second break and be right back on Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast, 42-0 here. Struggling start for the Panthers to kick off the 22 campaign. They have won 8 GAC Central titles in a row. For your information, though, Francis Howell is in the GAC South. So, not to worry there. But the rest of the GAC Central is in Class 5 District 3. And the new additions this year are Howell, Zumwalt West, and Riverview Gardens. Ball is deep and into the end zone, down for a touchback. Panthers will begin 1st and 10 from their own 20. Connor O'Neill back in at quarterback. Shane Pruitt will not be in the backfield as he checks out. And, I mean, Gavin, we've been used to seeing Zumwalt North put up 42-0 on opponents.
And now it's the complete opposite against this very talented Howell team. But as we've mentioned throughout this broadcast, is it's kind of a wake-up call and a gut check for the Panthers for the rest of their season.
Hand off to DJ Jones. He's met at the line. Maybe give him 1 or 2. They actually give him the stretch of the ball. 2nd down and 7 from the 23. And if you are wondering, there are 32 schools in Class 6. Howell is number 33. This is a quarterback keeper. Falling forward, and maybe a gain of 1 for Connor O'Neill. And I was reading a little bit at halftime, Gavin. The private schools in the St. Louis area this year have experienced a little bit of a enrollment boom. Private schools had, different COVID regulations, different, some enrollment, tuition went down. It was very interesting as O'Neill keeps it to the outside, gets the 1st down after some contact. And there's several factors, but the private school enrollment, primarily in the St. Louis area, has gone up. And with the addition of North Point as another high school out in St. Charles County, you're seeing a lot more spread out talent. And also you're seeing talent kind of localize into 4 or 5 big powers.
Yeah. It's quite interesting to see how these new schools and these new private schools are developing. And, yeah, you are seeing a big boom in these private schools. And it's really a better opportunity for the kids. They're getting more recruitment options as money's flowing in, especially to the athletics. So, really, it's one of those things where these kids are now coming to St. Charles and we're seeing those bigger, more talented players, and there's more recruiting options.
Well, man, I've had several conversations with Coach Bacon about this. Zumwalt North is in the northern part of St. Charles County. Zumwalt West, for many years, was very good at football. They have been on the doldrums for a while. As they're 1st and 15, and we get another false start penalty. But to finish my thought, Zumwalt West was very good for many years in the early 2000s. That filtered out. This was like 1999, 2000, 2003, and 4. You know, and it even got into 5, 6, 7, and 8. But CBC opens up a new campus in Town and Country. You see St. Dominic build a brand new facility, but Dominic has been relatively competitive. 1st down and 20. This is a hospital pass. Incomplete. That looked like it might have been tipped. Braden Miller unhappy with himself. But just to wrap it up, the private schools are spending. They're enticing kids to come and play. St. Louis U this year, seeing a resurgence. St. Mary's wins state last year in Class 4. CBC, again, very good. Public schools are basically starting to become neighborhood schools. And it's getting tougher and tougher. Fumble on the play. Ball comes out. Howell has it. And that's not to say there isn't talent in public schools. Look at Howell. Look at Kirkwood for many years. But again, the Kirkwood-Webster Groves game, Webster Groves went 0-9 last season. It was all Kirkwood that game. Look at Ladue High School. That is not a private school, as you might think. It is a public school. But man, oh man, is it nice. Out there, they've got some competition because they have to compete with the private schools in that higher income area of St. Louis. You see Marquette a couple of years ago. You remember Chris Cray coming here as a running back, and we thought Marquette might be the kryptonite for Zumwalt North. They ended up winning that game, but you're seeing some talent in public schools start to really thin out in the last couple of years since COVID.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's just the private schools. They are offering students more, and you mentioned enticing kids to come. They're saying, here is your options. This is what we are going to give you.
Now, here's the benefit for the public school. Every kid plays. No cuts, nothing. Every kid's going to get at least a chance to put on a jersey. And Coach Bacon, great coach. And I'd like to point out, Zumwalt North has only lost 8 times at this field in the past few years. I saw that statistic on Twitter not too long ago. And the only winning percentage that is better is CBC. CBC's won 4 state titles in that time. But, again, you just have to scrape what you can off the barrel. And Zumwalt North doing a pretty good job of that, and still do a very good job of that. I mean, they've got talent on this team. They will probably be playing for a district championship. But, again, you're seeing who you're going to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I'm going to be interested to see how Zumwalt West fares. Zumwalt West back on the schedule this year. And those games, when we first started in 2019 with Panther Broadcasting, man, was that a good game. I mean, they were close in the first quarter. The first half was nice. The third quarter was back and forth, and then Zumwalt North pulls away in the fourth. But we're just going to have to see how this district pans out. I mean, Howell could hit a road bump, maybe get hit on an off day, but it does not look as if they're going to see very much opposition given the current state of things in Class 5, District 3, which is the suburban St. Charles district of Class 5. 7:34 to go here. We have an injured player on the field for North. Looks like a possible cramp or a twist. But it looks as if he cannot put much weight on it. That is Maurice Hamilton, and he is having to be carried off the field just off of the sideline. So, hate to see that. And Maurice is a weapon in your receiving core.
Yeah, so we hope that it's nothing too serious. Hopefully it's just a cramp. I mean, it's early in the season. Players are still warming up. So we'll see how far he is going to be out.
Pass complete. Pylon. Just out at the 1 was Brett Northfleet. First down, they say they mark him at the 6.
And it is still the running clock here in the third quarter.
Back to pass, and ball came out. Almost intercepted by what looked like Mark Vettrell, and Sean Robinson goes off both their hands and incomplete. Second down and 6 from the 6. Goal to go for Francis Howell here, trying to add it on. Going to have to start seeing the second strings come in here pretty quickly. Shipley, though, has had a great game as a quarterback. That pass is incomplete. Third down and 6. 42-0 here. 6:10 on the running clock.
Now you wonder if you're going to see the second string players come in for the Panthers. See some different action, get your other players some opportunities.
Pass incomplete there once again. 4th down and goal from the 6. The clock continues to run. And looks like Howell will kick here. And this is another advantage. A Class 6 school almost always has a kicker. Class 5, you may not. A few years ago, Owen Sears, a very good kicker for Zumwalt North. Haven't seen one really since. Timeout. Francis Howell will take one as well. 42-0, 4th down and 6 when we come back.
To get that extra 10%. Reach the next level with Athletic Republic. Athletic Republic is science-based performance sports training, delivering intense, position-specific one-on-one training. Stop working out and start training. Visit your local Athletic Republic training center today. Athletic Republic, where athletes who give 110% get the extra 10%.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. Tom Hartbeck, Gavin Anderson with you, and Parker Kylan on the camera outside. Still 7-0, Howell North and North Point as they're coming out of halftime. North Point, though, man, oh man, do they have some pretty uniforms with that bright orange and navy blue. 4th down and 6 from the 6. Deal to kick. Snap back, ball down. Kick is up. And right down Broadway. Josh Deal makes it 45-0. We'll take a quick break again, do some business. Be right back.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting powered by Prepcast. Update on Maurice Hamilton. He is up and around and walking, doing a jog down the sideline. I would not be surprised, though, if his night is done for the sake of caution. But he is up and around, putting some weight on it. Looked like he just had a very bad cramp. He had to be carried off the field from the numbers, but good to see him up and moving. 5:08 on the clock, 45-0. Can North get on the board in this one? Wow, kick is clearing the end zone.
Touchback on the kickoff. The Panthers will begin first and 10 from 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10 from the 20. Connor O'Neill still in at quarterback. At this point, I'd like to see Troy Emge.
Yeah, get somebody else in there.
Yeah, at this point, 45-0, I want to see some of the young guys get a chance and move it along. I know you're trying to get the jitters out and shake the rust off your starters, but you also have to know some safety here. 1st and 10 from the 20. 4 wideouts for Connor O'Neill. Low snap. He's back to pass. He's looking. Lets it fly. Braden Miller. What a catch.
There's the spark you needed for your offense.
Yeah, there's something to cheer about. O'Neill had plenty of time. Heaved it up there, and Braden Miller, best athlete on the Panthers right now, makes the catch. Biggest play of the night for the Panthers. 1st and 10 from the 31. 4:15 to go. 4 wideouts once again. Miller the man in motion. Hand off. To what looked like, I'm sorry, I cannot make out the number. And Zumwalt North has this different font, even though it is high contrast. Second down. Keeper by Connor O'Neill, and he's close to the first down. It'll be a 3rd down and short.
It looks like they are going to give it to him, and they are going to give it to him.
I believe Mark Futrell is... No, that's not Mark Futrell. His jersey is scrunched. That is Antoine Friend. Starting up at running back. And now moving out to wide receiver, Dante Kerr in the backfield. Man in motion. O'Neill to the end zone. Well overthrown. 2nd down and 10 from the 21. 2:35 left on the clock here.
It looks like Connor O'Neill, though, is a little bit more comfortable throwing the football. He's had a little bit more oomph to it.
Yeah, when he has time and can set his feet, see and throw, he's shown that he at least does have an arm. Kerr in the backfield. Man in motion. That's Schrader. O'Neill. Maybe a gain of 4.
Now, if you're Coach Bacon and the Panthers, if you don't convert on 3rd down here, Do you go for it again like you've been doing all game, or do you give your
I
kicker?
think you've got to give your kicker an opportunity to at least avoid a shutout. You know, I this is the only time I've really ever felt critical of Coach Bacon in these situations. You have to have some trust in your kicker.
At least see what your kicker can do.
Trips to the near side. Schrader, the man in motion. Sweep play to him. Tackled in the backfield. That knocks you out of field goal range.
Ball at the 20-yard line, so it'd be a 30-yard plus some field goal attempt.
Nothing to lose now to go for it. You're on the 20 with under a minute to go here in the third quarter. 4th down and 9. Coach Bacon very stoic down there. He's taken his hat off, had the athletic kind of over shirt on, has stripped down to his polo and loosened things up. Zumwalt North has taken the timeout. Looked like they needed to get their facts straight as to what the formation and play call was. We'll take a quick break as well. 45-0, 4th down for the Panthers when we come back.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting powered by Prepcast. 4th down and 9. Ball on the 20 for the Panthers. Might as well go for it. Down big here. 4 wideouts. Schrader, the man in motion. Back to pass. O'Neal puts it to the end zone towards Hamilton. Broken up and incomplete.
Not a bad pass by O'Neal.
No, now that I've seen him throw the ball and air it out a little bit, I'm a little more confident in him because I know he can do it. Last year in the Howell game, he had no chance. He had no chance to throw the ball, and then they gave it to Peyton Hoker when they got down big, and hey, they aired it out and got 13 points. But
the offensive line just needs to produce some blocks and keep O'Neal in the pocket.
Yeah, you have to keep O'Neal in the pocket or at least within the numbers, where he's got some time to throw. You throw underneath. Get a nice, easy, 2 or 3 yard pass that turns into a 7-yard gain. But not much to report. 45-0. We head to the 4th. We'll be right back.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable, European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting powered by Prepcast. My name's Tom Hartbeck. I'm alongside Gavin Anderson, and Parker Kylan is our cameraman today. 1st down and 10 for Francis Howell. The handoff to Pearson, and he rumbles forward for 5.
And it looks like the Panthers are just going to keep all their same players out on defense.
Yeah, and again, I think at this point you're viewing it as practice. You have to get the reps, shake off the rust. And I'd just like to point out, in the Jamboree, it was 14-7 against St. Mary's. You know, I'll take that any day of the week. as Pearson runs it around the outside and is tackled down at the numbers. I'd like to give a shout out to our sponsor for this game, Bleachers Sports Bar and Grill, also St. Charles Flying Service. Thank you for your support of Panther Broadcasting. You'll be able to catch us all year, 8 games of the 9 regular season. The one game we will not cover for you is the Holt game. They will have their own in-house broadcast. We'll provide that link for you on our Twitter page. Hand off to Pearson around and drag down short of the first down, maybe by a yard. We'll see. 3rd down and 1, but he gets it by a hair. You can follow us on Twitter at North Panther PBN, Prepcast Broadcasting Network. I'll be giving you as much coverage as I can. Feel free to follow me on Twitter as well, @Hartbeck_voice. And Gavin's also on there, Gavin Anderson 35. Gavin will be color for 3 games this season. We'll also have a special guest we'll introduce to you for most of the year, starting next week. Around the outside and a gain of 2. Couple of updates from around the area. North Point and Howell, Francis Howell North, 14-3. And again, CBC beats Macon High School out of Georgia, 41-27 in Canton, Ohio, where they play the Hall of Fame game. Hand off to Pearson once more. Looked like the ball might have popped free. And they give him 4. 3rd down and 4 from the 36. 8:55 left on the clock. And again, we are seeing, just how this Panthers team needs to come together. And they'll have next week to do it. They are taking on the North Point Grizzlies in their first year of competition. Bad snap. Can North pick it up? No, they cannot. Francis Howell retains possession.
It is going to be a 4th down and a country mile, though.
Yes, it is. First stop the Panthers have been able to achieve for a while. And there's a game on the Panthers' schedule with Washington, who is kind of a trap game this year. That's a normal scheduled game for Zumwalt North, but they've also got Vashon. That'll be a gut test. And as I looked up and down their schedule, Gavin, I kind of thought this might be a 5-4 year because they've got Holt in there as well, who was very good last year. But might be a 5-4 year in the regular season, and then you're going to your district championship game, maybe 7-4 on the year if you can get there. And it's just one of those things. High school football is up and down.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you can keep your same core players throughout the year, you have more of an advantage when you're only having 8 returning players who really know the offense.
And we'll give you a snapshot of the schedule here. Next week we've got North Point at home. Then we head to Zumwalt East. Then at home against Washington. Away at Holt. We will not have that game on Prepcast for you. We will provide the link from Holt, though, on our Twitter page. Then they head home for Vashon. And then they finish with Liberty, Zumwalt South, and Zumwalt West at Zumwalt West. Heading to Hochul Stadium on Mexico Road. Always a tough place to play. Keeping it. Mark Futrell. Down to the 40. That'll move the chains. But there is a flag on the play.
A great run by Futrell. He found a hole and it looked like he was going to take it to the house. We got tripped up by a shoelace.
Yeah, but we got a hold on the play, so that'll move the ball back into Zumwalt North territory. First and 8. That's what they mark it as. Schrader, the man in motion. Lucas, is that Schrader running the football from the quarterback position? No, Lucas Newcomb into the game. He gets the carry and gets back to the line. Ball on the 49. Mark Futrell is the far side slot man. Lucas Newcomb in the backfield with 4 wideouts. Schrader, the man in motion. It is Newcomb. He had nowhere to go.
Newcomb on the quarterback carry for a loss of 1, probably 2.
Well, the prospects of a score, Gavin, are greatly decreasing. You know, and you covered Howell North football for a while, and have experienced this on a regular basis.
Correct, yes.
You know, and you were around those football players. What was the message when you're getting beat like this?
I mean, it's everybody's hanging their head low. Once you're going into week 3, 4, and 5, and it's the same thing every single week, the players at this point just give up. I mean, at my time at North, 4 years, we saw 2 or 3 coaches in a matter of 4 years. It's one of those things where it's like you see the crowd even just not show up. Student section is maybe 2 rows. So really it's just everybody's hanging their heads, and it's one of those things is we should just might as well just get over with it.
Yeah, and now here at Zumwalt North, it is a packed house here tonight. If you did not get here before 5:30, it was hard to find a parking spot, and it always is. Now, this game is not, I don't think, is indicative of what Zumwalt North can do, as Newcomb dances in the backfield, tries to get back to the line, and does. Actually ends up getting a yard or 2. Nice job. But, you know, I don't think this is a snapshot of how good Zumwalt North is. I think this is okay, here's what we need to work on game, and know that we can beat all the teams in the GAC Central. We can compete with the rest of the teams in our district. Francis Howell this year drops down to Class 5 by 45 students, under the threshold of Class 6. And just unfortunate that they are the odd man out of Class 6, as that is limited to 32 schools. Timeout, Zumwalt North. That's their second charge timeout of the half. 4:22 on the clock. We'll be right back on Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast.
Bus Lines has been serving the St. Louis metropolitan area since 1932, and they take pride in their well-maintained fleet of clean, comfortable European-style motor coaches and vans. Whether you're interested in a tour of the beautiful and historic St. Louis area or a charter trip to the lower 48 continental United States or parts of Canada, it's Vandalia Bus Lines, the largest fleet in the St. Louis area. Call them at 800-542-4287.
Welcome back, everybody. Panther Broadcasting, powered by Prepcast. 4:22 left here in this one. Panthers have not had much luck tonight. Francis Howell, in recent years, has had a resurgence. Had a couple of down years. as Newcomb gets a pass from his center and a booting punt down the field, out across the 30. So you're seeing some of the black aces, if you're going to use a hockey term. Check in, but Carter Madaire's still out there. Sean Robinson's still there. Coming in at middle linebacker, Riley Drew. And I think if I'm on that Zumwalt North sideline today, I'm thinking, all right, we're going to hit it hard in practice. We're probably going to get chewed out, but we need to win against North Point. We know that, and we should win against North Point. And when you look up and down the schedule, you've got opportunities. And the must-win game, and the biggest game of the year, is Washington in my mind. Because Washington is supposed to be very good this year, and they are in the GAC Central. And for the past few years, that's been the GAC Central title game.
Yeah, Washington, one of those schools where it's one of those schools where everybody plays some type of sport, and their big sport is football. And you have that little small country town where everybody's just jacked.
Yeah, and then, they're not necessarily jacked because, out that way in Washington, you got Borgia. You have, you can drive a long way and get to a couple of private schools, but that's it. But unfortunately, it's just a sparsely populated area, so they don't have very much to choose from. And getting an update on Twitter here. Man, oh man, look at how packed that student section is for Zumwalt North tonight. And when you look at how this game has gone, you just got to say, all right, back to the drawing board. We'll be back next week. Second down and 15 from the 31. Howell handing it off. Rumbling up the middle and maybe getting, 2 or 3. Aiden Sezin made that run. Yeah, you've got Howell, North Point, East, and then Washington. You have a opportunity to go 3-1 in your first 4 games, especially with North Point, Zumwalt, East, and Washington. But the Washington and the Holt games are going to be the tipping point of the seasons. Holt, I'm not expecting a win there, but Holt is going to be a comparable team to you in terms of size and in terms of the way they run their offense and their defense. But I'm not sure. It's a big question mark this year when you only have 8 returning starters.
Well, it's really going to come up to, as you mentioned, going back to the drawing board, see how the Panthers attack practice these next couple weeks and see what they draw up at practice. It's one of these situations where you figured out what works and what doesn't work with your new set of players, and let's go based off of what we've learned.
4th down and 17 for Howell. They hand it off up the middle. Rumbling forward was Toppin. Sezin picked it up. He gets the carry, and that's not enough for a first down. So the Panthers take over with a short field. 54 seconds left. Can they get on the board this game? The starters are not out there, minus Mark Futrell. First and 10. on the 32 as we're under a minute here. Newcomb. Schrader, the man in motion. Handoff up the middle. Not much doing. That was Kerr, the running back. 20 seconds here. We'll see if Zumwalt North will run a play. And they'll put one up for Pride. Here we go. Last play of the game. 2nd down and 10 from the 32. Schrader, the man in motion. Newcomb, back to pass. Ball is incomplete as the horn sounds. And Zumwalt North will head back to the locker room and to the drawing board after this game. 45-0 the final. And I think this was just Howell playing down this year are not a Class 5 team.
Yeah, Howell really needs to be back up where they were in Class 6. Their size is just there as far as your athletes go, and it's one of those things where Howell's just going to run away with it.
Yeah, and to be fair, it is out of Howell's control and out of all it is a Misha rule. There is a certain threshold you have to meet to be in Class 6, and there's going to be one school who's the biggest Class 5 school. Zumwalt North was it for a long time. Zumwalt South can be it. East can be it. And normally that's who it is. But now Francis Howell, who has been a sleeper power for many years in the city of St. Louis and in St. Charles, is now in Class 5. I am now fully convinced, this is their best shot for a state title that they've had in a long, long time. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go all the way and are meeting a Carthage or a Jackson or maybe a Platte County in the state finals this year. And it's not to say that they're an overly impressive football team, but compared to the rest of the class,
oh yeah,
there's no one who's going to be close to you other than maybe a handful of teams. And those handful of teams are outstate. So you're going to see a lot of changes, especially with this Howell team. But next week, we will return, and I'm seeing a lot of the Zumwalt North kids hold their heads high. I think they might have expected a rude awakening this first game. I think Coach Bacon, if anything, is always cautiously optimistic or is very realistic with his players. I think they played this game very realistically. They didn't take many chances. They ran their offense. There weren't too many penalties, but you just didn't have the personnel to compete with Howell. Howell, in this case, plays almost a perfect game. Zumwalt North obviously has a lot to work on, but again, we could see this exact score next week flip-flopped.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, and then we'll see Zumwalt East. We could see the exact same score flip-flopped. The next good game we'll probably see is Washington. That's going to be tight and intense. And then the Holt game could be tight. And then the rest of your schedule, you have pretty much a run-of-the-mill thing until you hit Zumwalt West. Zumwalt West, even though they are, they're a Class 6 school that's dropped down to 5, they're one of the Class 6 schools that's been struggling for the past few years. And the last couple of meetings, Zumwalt North has beaten Zumwalt West. So all is not lost. The panic button shouldn't be hit. We just shook the rust off, and Francis Howell came in and showed what they were about. They are a force to be reckoned with this year in Class 5. For my partner, Gavin Anderson, and our cameraman, Parker Kylan, my name is Tom Hartbeck. Thank you very much for watching. Final score here from Fisher Stadium on the campus of Zumwalt North. Francis Howell, 45. They shut out the Panthers as they put nothing on the board. We'll see you next week at home. The Panthers take on the Grizzlies of North Point. Good night, everybody. See you later.